we've got a lovely rainbow this evening. The dogs have just woken Monty up. Toby! He's coming in like a warrior horse. Woo! Good boy. That's nice, isn't it, Monty Bubs? So, I am here with Monster somewhere down there. And this vlog is a second part of Back to School in the Grand Plan. And from the previous vlog where we were starting back at definitely nursery school, couldn't get over a 60cm boxer, we have been building on the lesson and the exercises that we got, and particularly using a lot of the poles in the arena as well as the grid, and we have been going back for more lessons. So this vlog is a few of those lessons combined, but also the exercises that we have been taking away and practicing at home, just to see how we've been progressing. So we will start with actually both of the lessons and the exercises that are in this vlog are very much focusing on the canter and getting this lazy ex-racehorse to improve his canter ability to get a really nice jumping canter. So we've been focusing on balance and support from me. We've been focusing on engagement of the hind legs and adjustability. And it has been really good learning. Lots of things we are now definitely better at, but also lots of exercises that we do on a regular basis still. So we are still in stage 2 of the Grand Plan. We are back at school and studying hard. Back at Andrew's for some more jumping lessons, and this is the warm-up of one of our next lessons, where Andrew was basically assessing how we've been getting on, what we were working on, how he looked, how I looked, and what we needed to work on that day. We did a few warm-up jumps, as these clips show. What was really nice was Andrew's assessment that actually he jumped them pretty well.
Yeah.
He's been in balance all 3 times. Different balances, long, short, perfect. But quality is lots of line.
Good.
When he's at his most comfortable, he needs to land on the right leg. Okay. So what I'd like to do is introduce some support him right. Oh, he's on the wrong leg. I'm going to support the balance.
Yeah.
That's all the canter can through.
Okay.
Supporting the wrong lead on the wrong leg.
Yeah. And he's learning now to change his front, but not the back. Yeah.
Follow the lead. It lands left, go left. Lands right, go right.
Bloody hell. Okay. Yeah. Right. It is, because I'm not that quick.
No.
You.
I'm here to help you.
Okay. So if I get it wrong, you'll shout left or right.
Either way.
Okay. Good.
So we start practicing how to keep in balance, whether we land on the right lead or not. And we land on the wrong lead. So we are going in canter. So basically using what you would usually be your inside aids on the outside, and trying to keep him and me feeling balanced and able then to jump out of the canter, whether it's on the right lead or on the wrong lead. So we basically had to focus on getting squarer corners as we went round, so getting him to sit up and back on his hocks and me to use stronger aids to help him do that. The aim is that eventually he should change his lead, but irrespective, we will get a better canter. And really interestingly, having been doing this exercise for quite a while now and practicing it every time I realise I'm on the wrong leg, not always that quick at that, it is really helping to improve my support to him around corners, whether he's on the right lead or not. And that little hop that he just did that you saw on camera is when he changed his legs. Took us a few times of going round, but he eventually got the fact that it would be more comfortable to switch. Interestingly, on this next jump, Andrew was able to see it. I can't on this, I didn't feel it, but he basically said that he looked like he'd thought about it as he came over the jump and changed the leg he was going to land on midair to be the right one.
It looked like there was a degree of thought in his face.
Good.
And his limbs went.
Good. Because I don't think I'm not like quick enough to be able to ask over a fence.
So the next exercise we did was using some small jumps on smaller, tighter circles, and this had a twofold aim. One, to practice landing on the right lead and help him and me know what to ask for and when, and if he didn't, to do the canter again. And really helpfully, I think we finally got it, because on this diagonal, as we come to change the lead, he does a lovely flying change. The second aim of this exercise, though, was also to get him listening to me in terms of which direction we were going, because he is a little bit forthright in his opinion of where we go left and where we go right. So getting him used to, there's a fence, listen to me as to which way we jump afterwards and the direction that we need to go. So we came home and we put into practice what we'd learned. I put some poles down in the arena to do a few different exercises with him. He likes to do different things, otherwise he gets bored and switches off. So we just start off doing some simple changes just to get me a bit quicker at being able to ask him to change, and for him also to get used to it a bit better. We always have a sort of right lead preference. He's right-sided. I think I'm right-sided. More to come on that in a different vlog. But he did most of them pretty well. Got a little bit excited at times. And coming down this long side, we suddenly get a little bum flick. Given that Toby then joins us in the arena, he does like to help with schooling. Suspect that Monty had seen him out the corner of his eye. We then move on to using the poles to help us do a flying change. He did that first one really nicely in front, slightly late behind, got a bit excited. So I just brought him round again just to keep the whole cantering over poles a calm exercise. And then we come round and do it again and didn't quite get the change to the left lead. So I used a canter opportunity. Wasn't quite as square as I should have been, but we did, just in this corner where ironically you can't see it, but we did get the change. So I was very, very pleased with him. Just give him a little bit of a breather and hopefully process that, and then we come around and do a few more and he gets the change, but again a little bit late on his back legs, and he sometimes is very exuberant when he changes his back legs. I think this is one where we have a proper little bounce around. Yeah, so that's fun to sit to. But he was definitely getting the idea, and this last one he did really nicely. Back at Andrew's again for some more lessons, and the warm-up today, or on this day, was definitely lacking in energy and effort, certainly from him. I suspect we were both a bit tired, but I can't remember why. But irrespective, we needed his back end engaged because the jumping was very lackluster. So Andrew was getting us to do walk, canter, serpentines to get him listening, to get him activating more, to get him a bit more compressed and bouncier. And we had to basically canter around the corners and then walk through the straight bit. And if he wasn't listening, as he wasn't just before, he was rushing on or not walking properly, then I had to halt him and get him to step back and stand and then go forward. And he got the hang of it really quickly. So we started doing some really good walk, halt transitions, and then asking him to leg yield to the outside away as he walked off, and then into a really nice bend and good canter transition. So we started incorporating poles and then fences using the serpentines, so that when we came to jump over whatever it was, he had that really nice, bouncy, energetic canter, and then the jump in and out was much, much better. If at any point the walk or the canter was getting sloppy or lazy, we had to basically do some small circles, again, just to really engage his back legs, which was a really helpful way of just keeping him going forward and realising he couldn't just get long and flat again. All of this was getting him nice and compact, and me being much more able to compress him and get that bouncy canter for the jump. And it was also helping us get much better strides in and out, but we were also using placing poles to help him work out where he's putting his feet, because he's so used to jumping long and flat. It was really different for him. So the placing poles alongside those exercises to adjust was really, really helpful in him just understanding that we wanted that controlled pace, the impulsion, the compressed energy, rather than just going flat out. And the tunnel of poles behind was there to help us keep really straight on the getaway, because the other thing that we were doing was starting to motorbike away after the fences. And as the jumps were starting to get a bit bigger, he was getting a little bit more excited and starting to get a bit rushy. So I went back to the halt and wait for a couple of seconds in the serpentine, again, just to bring him back to me and just to keep him listening. That works brilliantly.
What, 85? Good boy. What did we do? Okay. He jumped it big? Right. What? Yeah. Oh, good.
Because he jumped it massive. He came in a bit bigger because he knew there was a bigger fence. I want to get at this.
Oh, cool.
You've improved his confidence with your place calls at home.
Yeah.
You know that.
Yeah.
Because you put him at the right spot every time.
Yeah.
And now he's coming and gone, I'm going to give him a beat 5 some well. And so he jumped it massive.
Yeah.
And then like shot off to the side and you nearly had a parting away.
Yeah.
Which is fine because you just a bit of balance.
Yeah.
You jumped it enormous.
Right. Okay.
Alright.
So it wasn't necessarily that I wasn't doing it properly. Okay.
What you're doing is trying to turn your own jumping out of the skin.
Yes. That's all right then. Okay.
So we are putting that all into practice again. Still the same session as from the previous lesson. I combined the 2 weeks into one scully session, and we are doing the canter, walk, serpentines, and trying to be disciplined about asking him to walk properly, do the canter transitions properly, make sure he's listening. But he definitely, I think, had got the message in terms of this exercise and what he needed to do. So he was going really nicely. And then we go on to an exercise using the poles to get him to pick his feet up properly, work out where to put them, but also to adjust his strides. They are set up as a 3-stride canter poles. Then ask him to move forward more, and we get a nice 2-stride a few times, which again I was really chuffed about because he often explodes when I ask him to go a bit more forward. And we do it under the rein, and starts off getting the 3 strides a little bit messily with kicking the poles. We do that a few more times, then it does get tidier and he gets much neater over the poles. And then we get some nice 4 strides into those 2 poles, which I was really chuffed about because that was a lot of effort from him to compress it that much. So there we go, that is it for today. Hopefully that's been interesting, helpful, useful, particularly for anybody else who has those sorts of problems or weaker areas in some of their canter, jumping canter. And if it has been of use or you've enjoyed it or liked it, and of course please do like, comment, subscribe. And the next one, we decided after those few lessons that, I mean, in Andrew's words, just do it. So we are actually moving into stage 3 for the next vlog. We are getting back out there to do some local show jumping competitions. Eek!